too late for that.
No, no, it's not too late. Scott! Oh, Scott.
Very good to see you. Come on, Dr. Ben Martin.
I was so very sorry to hear about Mr. Davidson and Mrs. Lindsay.
Thank you.
Ben and I were just talking about what a fine job you did for Cora's funeral.
Yes, it's been 4 years since she passed away.
7.
Yes, it's been 7 years since she passed away.
And Ben's new to the Davidson family, newly married to Laurie Davidson.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we kind of thought that it'd be best if you were to handle the arrangements like you did for me. You know, all the flowers and the music and everything.
But it would be a church service.
Oh, yes, of course. I want to assure you that I'll do everything I can to be helpful to you.
Thank you.
Let me take your coat.
Thank you. Did the Mr. Davidson and Mrs. Lindsay leave any special instructions as to the disposition of their remains?
No, but I'm sure both of them would prefer as simple a funeral as possible.
All right. Then first let me show you the various casket styles I have, and you can select the ones which you feel will be most suitable. Please take a seat, gentlemen. For your convenience, I've grouped the caskets according to their appropriateness, as for a man or for a woman.
Are the man's models larger?
Oh, no, they're just simply more masculine and tailored in appearance. For example, this is our regal repose model. It reflects the dignity and the social standing that the loved one had in his community.
Imagine, look at all that shiny wood.
And this is the candlelight model, which has an equally distinctive, yet much more feminine quality.
Well, now, that does look like Nora, with all that lace and everything.
And both these models come with a medium firm inner spring mattress, although you can see the candlelight model has the apricot satin lining.
Yes. Well, I doubt very much if the family would like to have the caskets open, so I think the colors and all that don't really matter.
I see. Yes, I understand, but may I suggest, however, that Mr. Davidson did have a large and devoted public following who would appreciate the opportunity of paying their final respects.
Well, now, he does have a point there.
Yes, but then we get into the area of cosmetics.
Oh, but there's no problem whatever in restoring Mr. Davidson or the deceased to a perfectly natural and lifelike appearance.
Well, now, Terry, appreciate that, don't you think?
Well, just so I get an idea, say with this casket, the regal repose, and with a public viewing, how much would the funeral cost altogether? Scott's, I mean.
That would be very difficult to estimate precisely, but with the reconstruction, this casket, of course, we would provide all the flowers, the pall, as well as the burial vault. It should be in the range of $15,498.50.
15,000?
Well, now, Scott's estate can easily cover that. I showed you how we can work it out.
Absolutely not. Pardon me, Mr. Hampton, but this whole thing seems just a little ostentatious to me, and that is one thing that Scott Davidson was not.
I understand your sentiments, Dr. Martin. Yet for a public figure, the cost I've quoted is quite within reason.
Within reason for whom? And we haven't even begun to discuss Nora's yet.
Now, Mr. Hampton is only trying to be helpful.
Yeah, and I'm only trying to carry out the wishes of the Davidson family, as best as I can discern them. And they're a far cry from this. No, Mr. Hampton, absolutely not.
last will and testament of Nora W. Lindsay. I, Nora Lindsay, being a sound mind and First, I direct my debts and funeral expenses. Second, I will devise and bequeath the residue of my real estate stocks and bonds, bank deposits, and cash to my only child, Terry L. Davidson, witch.
You know, it never occurred to me that people were buried in their real clothes. I just guess I always pictured them in a sheet or something.
Don't you remember Aunt Emily's funeral? They had an open casket.
I didn't go.
Well, I know you saw Colonel Elridge. He was in his uniform at the armory.
No, I wasn't at that one either.
Peter, if you'd rather, I can pick out Grammy's dress by myself.
Oh, no, no. It's kind of weird, you know. It's like it's not real or something.
I know.
It seems like Grandma's gone, so all her stuff should be gone. Everything's the way it was, like nothing happened. Furniture, clothes. Makes you wonder.
Peter, when you think about Grandma, do you picture her in any particular dress? What?
I see her in garden gloves and slacks.
I guess we better check out the closet, huh?
What are you two doing here?
Nancy,
I was just getting a dress for Nora to wear, and I thought this one might work. You know, the gray would kind of go with her hair, don't you think? What's the matter?
Nancy, I hate to tell you, but that's my dress. Grandma was going to hem it for me. See, the pins are still in there.
Oh, well, it looks like something that she would wear, really.
We'll help you find another one.
No, that's all right. Why don't you two just run along?
Nancy, we came over to...
Peter, I think we better leave.
Bye-bye.
Terry!
Hi, Liz.
Oh, come in out of the cold. Aren't you cold without a hat on?
Oh, not too. I almost jogged over here.
Terry, would you like some tea?
It's apple cider with cinnamon.
Oh, well, that sure makes the house smell cozy, doesn't it?
It sure does. Honey, why don't you run and get another cup for Aunt Terry? Can I take your coat?
Yeah, thanks. Oh, I just had to get away for a few minutes.
Can I help you with something?
Oh, you already have. No, I just needed some privacy. We've had so many visitors today, and phone calls. I sound so ungrateful.
Oh, not at all. I understand. Oh, honey, you better let me pour that. That's a girl. Can't you just get upstairs and, I don't know, retreat from all that?
Well, I do, but... Oh, thank you, Jenny. Why am I so itchy? I don't want to be with people, and I don't want to be alone. I just want Scott.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Liz. It doesn't make any sense. You know, when I'm alone in our bedroom upstairs, I could almost feel as though Scott were right there with me. And if he were, I know what he'd say. He'd smile and he'd encourage me. But at the same time, it's so plain that he's not there. He's there, but he's not there.
Uncle Scott is in here, Aunt Terry, because he's with Jesus.
He sure is, honey. He sure is.
it's cold out here. Let me in.
Where'd you get that car?
Oh, don't ask questions. Just get me the name of a good lawyer.
Oh, no, what happened?
Nothing yet, but it will once they start looking through the estate.
What estate?
Nora's. Who else's?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know Mother died, don't you?
What? Oh, you're kidding, Nancy.
No, look it. There's her car out there. It's mine now.
She died? How?
Yeah, traditional New Year's Eve car crash. She was killed by a drunk, and so was Scott.
Scott Davidson's dead?
Yep. Poor old Scott, just when things started looking up for him, too.
Oh, come on, Nancy. Are you serious?
Cross my heart. Hey, but look, don't worry about it. I've done all my crying already. Life goes on, you know.
Oh, right. Scott Davidson's dead?
Yeah, well, anyway, under the circumstances, with my mother hating me all my life the way she did, I thought I really better get a lawyer to help me get my inheritance, or my lack of it, I should say.
Oh, she didn't leave you anything.
Not even a doily.
Well, I guess then you really do need a lawyer. I mean, you should get at least half of the estate, and if you'd get a good lawyer like maybe Harold Webster, you could probably get a whole lot more. Why not? You really deserve it, Nancy.
I think so. I mean, my sister's dear husband is probably going to provide for her a lot better in death than he did in life. Can you imagine 4 people trying to get by with 1 car? Now, what's that guy's name again?
Harold Webster. Yes, Nancy, I think you really should go for it. The house, the money, everything. I mean, after all, what have you got to lose?
Only the legal fees if this guy turns out to be a klutz.
You can trust me. I mean, my wonderful, responsible, self-righteous mother would be starving me out right now, for my own good, of course, if it weren't for Daddy and one Harold Webster. I will get you his number.
Yeah, listen, I really need to see him today, as soon as possible. Call him for me, okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Good. Let's see.
I don't know what to say, Laura. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to say anything, Becky. I understand how you feel. And don't worry about me, please.
It just seems so unfair. Laura, your family loves each other so much. Your dad had just
Oh,
gotten a new
Becky, Becky. That's what makes it all so much easier. We did love each other.
Yeah, I guess. No regrets. But boy, it sure makes you stop and think.
Oh, Becky, when I think about Daddy and Grandma, I could write a book about all the things that I wished I'd done or not done.
Laura, maybe a pamphlet, but I don't think a book.
Oh, Becky, you don't know. But I have to trust in the Lord's forgiveness. And it was my father that taught me that. Well, maybe my mom too, but... Becky, can I show you something?
Yeah, sure.
Come here. See this?
Yeah, Penny.
Well, I found it under here when I was cleaning up. And as soon as I saw it, I knew it had fallen out of Dad's pocket. And so many things went through my mind. I pictured my dad providing for us. I remembered him giving me my allowance and chores. I thought about all the things that he taught me. I remember how he used to say, "I'll give you a penny for your thoughts," when I'd be staring out into space or upset about something. And how easy he made it for me to talk to him. I can't explain it, but this one little penny brought out all the gifts that he'd given me of himself that I now have hidden in here. Discipline and faith and love. Becky, he's a real part of me. And I am so thankful that during the most important time of my life, God gave me such an excellent father.
Terry, I didn't come over here to have you wait on me. I want to know how you're feeling.
I know, Alex, and I appreciate it, but to tell you the truth, I'd be a lot better off if I could keep busier, so here, have some tea.
Thank you. Now, did you get any sleep last night?
Some. I had a dream. Nightmare. I was in the hospital again seeing Scott.
Terry, I've got some samples in the car. I want you to take one about an hour before bedtime tonight.
No, thank you, Alex. I don't need anything.
Terry, there's something I want to tell you. Just in case any unsettling thoughts should start plaguing you.
What is it?
Well, I want you to know that there's no way Scott could have suffered any pain. We're sure of that. And as for Nora, I can truthfully say she didn't suffer either. Now, perhaps you know that, being the fine nurse that you are, but I just had to be sure.
Thank you, Alex. That's very kind of you. And I won't be concerned about it. What concerns me most right now, I guess, is picking up the pieces of my life without Scott.
Now, Terry, I'm convinced that the most important piece is already in place. Always has been.
You mean my fate?
You know, I guess you're surprised to hear something like that come from me, but I've seen it work through you. All the little things will follow.
Oh, Alex, I'm sorry. I forgot to give you a spoon.
Thank you.
You know, I think I really appreciated Scott, but I never realized until now how dependent I was on him. I still don't think it's fully hit me yet.
Well, Terry, that's normal, but don't you for 1 minute think that that dependence didn't work both ways.
There are so many decisions to make, details to work out.
And so many friends who want to help you with them.
I know.
Terry, can I give you some advice about the details?
Of course.
You know, you've received a double blow. And there are not many people who've had to face up to losing a husband and a mother on the same day. So don't make any major decisions for a while. Well, there'll be plenty of time for that later. And as for the details, why, just leave those to the rest of the family and your friends. You go on doing what it is you do best.
What's that?
Loving them.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Miss Lawson is here to see you.
Send her on in.
Oh, Miss Lawson, how do you do?
Well, I'll feel a lot better after you've helped me.
Well, then why don't you just take a seat here? Tell me what you expect me to do for you.
All right, just a minute. I've got it here somewhere. My mother was killed in a car crash 2 nights ago, and I just... Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, well, there's her will. And as you will notice, my name is nowhere to be found in it, unless it's written in invisible ink or something.
Yeah, I see. This, Terry Lindsay Davidson is also her daughter, is that right?
Our golden girl, to be exact.
Well, looks like your mother doesn't claim you. It seemed that way, anyway, as evidenced by this statement here. My only child, Terry Lindsay Davidson.
Isn't that the most spiteful thing you've ever seen in your life?
Well, that's pretty common, actually. Tell me something. Have you got any other siblings by your mother?
Well, we have some canceled checks and some papers and things, but I know it's her handwriting. I know she wrote it.
Good. That's fine. Tell me this. Do you have any other brothers or sisters by Miss Lindsay? No. Well, I'd say that this will definitely is not fair to you.
Yeah. So what can we do about it?
Well, my dear girl, before I champion any just cause, I always think it's best to discuss the fee first.
Well, if you're as sharp as Miriam Mason says you are, then we can just pay you afterwards out of the estate, can't we?
I appreciate the flattery, but I will require a deposit. Or some token of your good faith, Miss Lawson.
Well, I don't have my checkbook, but I'll tell you what I do have. You might like.
Yeah. Yeah, this'll do. Nicely. Nicely. How did this will come into your possession?
I found it. Accidentally, of course. I was looking through my mother's closet.
Oh? You, live with your mother?
No, that would be the day. No, she lived by herself. I'm staying with the heiress herself, which is a drag.
Well, my advice to you, young lady, is to run. Do not walk to your mother's house and start living there. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
But even if she disowned me?
Has anybody seen this besides you?
Not that I know of.
Well, it's funny, but I haven't seen any will. Neither did you.